the next day. We've had our chicken marinating for 24 hours, taken it out, and what I've done is I have put them all on skewers. Each cube, I've put it one on top of the other on skewers, laid it on a pan with aluminum foil, and what we're going to do now is put it in our oven in the middle rack. We're going to put it at 400 degrees until it's cooked. And in the meantime, what we're going to do is make our sauce for our chicken tikka masala. So we're going to need a pot with 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil in our pot. To that, we are going to add 2 onions finely chopped to our oil. And we also are going to need 4 cardamom pods. Okay? We're going to throw that in and we're going to cook it until the onions are soft and almost browned. Okay? Okay, so our onions have softened up and they are at the point where they're not browned, but they're perfect for our next ingredient, which is 4 cloves of mashed garlic. We're going to put that in here and we're going to stir it for just 1 minute before we add the next ingredient. Okay, so now that we've put our onions, we've got our garlic, we've got our cardamom pods, we are going to add 2 cans of 14.5 ounce diced tomatoes into our pot. And we are going to stir it. And then what we're going to do now is we are going to leave it on the fire until the sauce has thickened a bit, because as you can see, it's watery and we just want to thicken this up just a little bit. So we're going to leave it for a few minutes and then we're going to come back so we can add our next ingredient. Okay, so your tomato sauce is cooking and we're waiting for it to thicken. But before it does, what we want to do is check on our chicken. The reason is we want it to cook evenly. So we're going to flip each skewer over like so that it cooks on the other side, not just on one side. So I want you to do that, and when that's done, your tomato paste should be pretty much ready for the next bunch of ingredients. Okay, so we flipped our skewers and I think our tomato sauce is ready for the next group of ingredients. As you can see, it's thickened from when we first added our diced tomatoes. It's not fully dry, but it's as good as we need it to be for the incorporation of our spices here. And that is 2 tablespoons of garam masala, 1 teaspoon of hot red pepper. Whatever spicy red pepper that you have, you add it. And again, if you can't take spicy, don't add it. If you like less, reduce it. So I have here 1 teaspoon. I have a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And then 2 teaspoons of light brown sugar. We're going to add all that in, and we're going to mix it for about a minute before we add our final group of ingredients. So I just want you to look at how this is looking with all the spices. Don't get worried that it's looking brown, your tomato sauce. That's how it's supposed to look, and it's supposed to be very aromatic, delicious, as are your kebabs in the oven. So now it's been a minute, and we need to add 2 tablespoons of ground almonds. I want you to look at this. The almonds are almost like, see that, powder, okay? What I did is I took my almonds without its skin and I ground it in a mini food processor. And we're going to add that. If you don't have a mini food processor, you can take anything, a mortar, whatever you use to crush your garlic, and you can crush your almonds. Okay, also the last ingredient we're going to need is 2.5 cups of heavy cream. So add that in, and you, my friends, have made your chicken tikka masala sauce, and all that awaits is the chicken in the oven. So we're going to let that sit on the fire for about a minute. We're going to shut it off, and we're going to wait for the chicken to come out, and then we're going to put them all into the sauce and then let it simmer so that the chicken absorbs from the sauce and becomes even more tender and flavorful. So we've taken the chicken out of the oven, it's ready, it's cooked, and this is what it's looking like. We have beautiful skewers of chicken tikka here, and it is wonderful. You can eat it as is. Delicious, tender, and wonderful. But now we want to add it to our sauce. Something I like to do with the sauce, as you can see here, you can see all the bits of onion and tomatoes. I don't really like that so much. So what I like to do is I try to take my handheld food blender and I will grind it all up so it's nice and smooth. Okay, so it's looking pretty good right now. I want you to see what it looks like. See, it's not like completely without any lumps, but it's a lot smoother. You can't distinguish onion from tomato here. It's still, you know, a little bits and pieces, but it's okay. This is what we want. Now, at this point, what I like to do is add salt. 1.5 to 2 teaspoons of salt, but it's also according to your taste. So try it with 1.5 teaspoons and see. Maybe you like salty, maybe you don't. Okay, mix that in. And then what we're gonna do is add all our chicken to the sauce. So one by one, take it and put it in. Okay, so all our chicken is in the pot with our sauce. And what we're going to do now is put the heat on low and allow the chicken to simmer in the sauce for a good 15 to 20 minutes. We want the chicken to absorb the flavors of the sauce and to become even more tender. So I'll see you back in 15 minutes. So our chicken tikka masala is done. I've put it into this dish, this bowl, and I've helped myself to some rice, which I also made, basmati rice with peas, and you can watch the video on how to make it. And I have my chicken tikka masala, and I have a piece of naan, and I have an authentic, delicious Indian meal right here, and so easy to make. So why don't we see how it is? It's so tender. Wonderful, wonderful. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. And I hope to see you again very soon on Eating with Rula. Bon appetit. Bye.